Hi folks, welcome back to Lewis on Film with me, Lewis. And it's Oscar Day. Oscars are tonight. My favourite night of the year. I absolutely can't wait. I have done very well to see as many Oscar nominees as I can this year, and I've got my ballot, I've got my pen, and we're going to do our annual Oscar rundown. Here we go. Okay, so the Best Picture race has been a good one this year. 2023 was a fantastic year for films, and I'm going to give a quick rundown of the Best Picture nominees and a review of each one, as I haven't done any reviews of them this year. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll go into intermittently between each one. I'll go through the Best Picture, Best Actor, Screenplay, etc. All right, so let's start with, at the top of the list there, it says American Fiction.
Monk, your books are good, but they're not popular. Editors, they want a black book.
They have a black book. I'm black, and it's my book.
You know what I mean.
Look at what they publish. Look at what they expect us to write. I just want to rub their noses in it.
Here's the thing, I think the ending is polarising a lot of people, but I didn't, strictly speaking, mind the ending. I think it was certainly original, and I think it was an effort to give it a bit of character that made it a bit interesting. I didn't have a problem with the ending, however, I sort of wanted something definitive to happen, because I genuinely didn't know where it was going to go with him accepting the award or not, or taking the credit or not, or whatever. I would have liked to have seen something definitive, but oh well. But I guess that's kind of the point, isn't it? I understand that. I love, I think Sterling K. Brown, as much as he steals the show, It's all Jeffrey Wright's show. He's such a great actor. He's been around for a while now. He's always delivered the goods, and he's got a great voice, hasn't he?
Deadbeat dads, rappers, crack. You said you wanted black stuff. That's black, right?
I see what you're doing.
I did enjoy it. I didn't love it. I found the satirical side of the book side of things more interesting than I did the personal stuff he was going through with his mother and with his family. But like I say, his brother steals the show. So yeah, at moments I was connected with it, and then other times I was slightly disconnected with it. So it was a bit to and fro, but ultimately a good film, and it does deserve to be here. And it's good. I think you'll enjoy it. It's available on Amazon Prime now. Actually, go check it out if you haven't seen it.
Could go back to not selling books.
Is it bad to cater to people's tastes?
People want to love you, Monk. You should let them love all of you.
So let's have a look at Best Actor in a Leading Role then. Jeffrey Wright, aforementioned, of American Fiction, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Colin Domingo for Rustin, and Bradley Cooper for Maestro. First of all, I don't think Bradley Cooper's winning. I don't think Colin Domingo's winning, although I absolutely loved Rustin. I did really enjoy Rustin, not just for his performance either. I genuinely thought it was a good film. Jeffrey Wright, not quite. I've just given him a bit of credit there, but I don't think he's winning. It is a race between Paul Giamatti and Cillian Murphy. My personal emotional choice is Paul Giamatti. Because I loved The Holdovers. It was number 2 on my list of last year, best films, and he was obviously a massive, massive part of it. And he's a wonderful actor anyway. He's been around for a long time, and not ever quite got this close. So emotionally, I want him to win. In reality, I think probably Cillian Murphy's going to take it. So on the ballot, I'm taking Cillian Murphy. However, if Paul Giamatti wins, I'll be happy as Larry. Actor in a supporting role: Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction, the show stealer of that one. Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon. Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer. Ryan Gosling for Barbie. Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. At one point, my absolute favourite to win this was Mark Ruffalo. To be honest, but I think Robert Downey Jr. He's long deserved it, and he was wonderful in Oppenheimer. I rewatched Oppenheimer the other day and reminded myself just how good he was in it, and I went, actually, yeah, he's probably taking that. So, Robert Downey Jr.
I don't know what happened. I think he fell off that 3rd floor. The window's open.
The autopsy report is inconclusive. An accidental fall is gonna be hard for us to defend. That's why there's an investigation for a more suspicious death, because you were the only person there. And of course, you're his wife.
Stop. I did not kill him.
That's not the point.
Another Best Picture nominee then is Anatomy of a Fall, which everyone's been raving about, despite it, it didn't get into the Best Foreign Language Film race because it's too much of it's in English. Okay, but so here's the thing. First of all, I found it quite interesting straight away that we don't meet the husband until quite late on in the flashback. The gentleman who's either he's committed suicide or he's been killed. He's dead anyway. He's found dead by the son. And has he jumped? Has he been pushed? That's the mystery. That's the setup. That's the stage. But the fact that we hate him before we even meet him is quite an achievement. I personally felt that way. I wasn't sympathetic about his death at all. If I was meant to, but I wasn't. Sandra Hüller, absolutely wonderful performance, and one of the things that me and my wife said that when we watched it was that if this was a Hollywood film, the chalet would be it'd be picturesque greens, a beautiful view, and all this. She'd be in this sort of slim sort of outfit and everything. Oh, she isn't. She's very she's a bit fuller. She's a bit less makeup. Just covered in a in a woolly jumper, just buries her in it, and it would have a massive different feel if this was an American film. And the fact that it's a European film just really gave it something else that added to it a lot, and I think that's not to be dismissed. The film itself, I loved the raw drama of it, the acting, the power of it. I loved it. The actual plot, I'll be honest, I thought was a bit convoluted. Convoluted is the wrong word, I'm sorry, but part of it was lost to me. I was just like, I understand what's going on, but I really don't care about that bit. I'm more interested in this bit over here, which is the dynamic and the relationship between the son and the mother, which that was really nice, and when they're forced to be apart from each other, which I thought was absolutely wonderful. Really powerful stuff for reasons that I wasn't expecting it to be powerful. So yeah, convoluted was the wrong word. I'm terribly sorry. Yeah, I preferred the emotional bits between the family, the mother and the son, rather than the actual trial itself. Although the trial has some beautiful moments, and it is a very, very good film. It's worthy of everything it's got.
I just want you to know one thing. I'm not a monster.
Speaking of leading actress then, we do have Sandra Hüller in Anatomy of a Fall, Lily Gladstone, Kills of the Flower Moon, Annette Bening in Naiad, Kerry Mulligan in Maestro, and Emma Stone in Poor Things. Well, first of all, I really wanted Kerry Mulligan to win this. Before I even saw Maestro, I really wanted Kerry Mulligan to win this because I love her to bits, and she's always wonderful. I wanted her to win for Promising Young Woman. We sort of knew she wouldn't, but I wanted it to happen. So, Annette Bening, in a very similar vein, I loved Naiad. I thought it was absolutely wonderful. I'd love Annette Bening to win this. I really would. Like, as an outside chance, I'd put it on her. But everyone's been saying it's a race between Emma Stone and Lily Gladstone. I've got to go Emma Stone. As much as I did respect completely how good Lily Gladstone was, and I was actually saying to somebody who hadn't seen it, Certain Women was a film a few years ago which she was in. I thought she was absolutely wonderful in it, and I've been keeping an eye out for her in other things, and this is the first time I've seen her since, which is really annoying in a way. But so I know Lily Gladstone's great. She's captivating. She does everything right, but Emma Stone in that role, very hard to beat. So I'm going Emma Stone, but I wouldn't count out a dark horse taking this one though. Just as a comment. Actress in a supporting role: Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks in The Colour Purple, America Ferrera in Barbie, Jodie Foster in Nyad, and Davine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. There is no contest here. This is not a competition anymore, that one. It's Davine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. I knew it as soon as I saw it. I saw it quite early on because I got to see it at a film festival in London. So I was really lucky that I got to see that. And straight away I said, she's winning the Oscar there. And she's been in the race. She's been winning everything. She's winning this. So, sorry, ladies. Sorry, other ladies. You were all absolutely wonderful. But Davine Joy Randolph, this is your year, my dear. So back to another Best Picture film. So we got Barbie.
Hey, Barbie. Can I come to your house tonight?
Sure. I don't have anything big planned, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and planned choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by.
So cool.
Who'd have thought? I mean, seriously, who would have thought it? Margot Robbie, perfectly cast.
Do you guys ever think about dying?
I was really taken as to how good the film was. And I don't dismiss how good it is. My issue with it, its transition into the final act didn't feel developed enough. I felt like it just needed an extra 5 minutes, if that, and a scene with the daughter, with America Ferrera's daughter in the film. It just needed something else to really transition nicely. For me, it didn't quite get there, but I'm not dismissing how well the film's written, how well it's made, and the point it makes, and it makes it very, very well. But you know, Barbie's a perfectly good film.
What do I have to do?
You have to go to the real world.
You can go back to your regular life, or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours.
The first one, the high heel.
You have to want to know, okay? Do it again.
Humans only have one ending.
Get that Barbie!
Ideas live forever.
Moving on then, so we're going to animated feature film. The Boy in the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So the only one of these I haven't seen is Robot Dreams. It's not available yet, but I'm hoping to see it very soon. I've not heard any real kind of pressure that this will win, so I'm guessing it's not gonna. But I haven't seen it, so I can't fairly comment. So the other four, Elemental I don't want to win because I think it's the weakest of these films. Although, with that said, I did really like it. Me and my wife really vibe with it because my wife's from Poland. And it's basically an immigration movie, isn't it? You know, a story about people coming from different cultures and moving in and becoming a part of a different culture. So me and my wife really vibed with that. The Boy in the Heron, I can understand it winning, but my issue, not just with this film, has as well been with other Miyazaki films, in actual fact, is that he doesn't create a character and build a world around the character. He puts a character into the world. Not strictly a problem, as he's proven in the past with other films that are better than this. But that is the problem here. I don't think there's enough character in the world of wonder that they're in. That's my basic issue with it. But in terms of a fantasy escapism story that he loves to do, a very good one. But Nimona I don't think is going to win, so it's either The Boy in the Heron or Across the Spider-Verse. Across the Spider-Verse, I didn't have any shame in admitting about the first one that I wasn't a massive fan of it the first time I saw it. It's exhausting. This one even more so. And I'm a big fan of the Spot as well, from the comics. Ask any of my friends, I'll tell you, I loved the Spot before he ever appeared in the Spider-Man filmverse. So it's a tough one, but I think I'm going to lean towards The Boy in the Heron because Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse won the other year, didn't it? So I'm going to lean towards The Boy in the Heron, so we'll see. Cinematography, El Conde, which I loved, by the way. The audacity of El Conde, if you haven't seen it, it's wonderful. Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I'm going for Oppenheimer. Just the sheer technical achievement of it, but Poor Things, I think, is the other one that could win. And I don't really have an issue with that either way, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute. but Oppenheimer for best cinematography.
Every year at Barton Academy, students, faculty, and staff depart the campus for a 2-week winter break. But there are always an unfortunate few who have nowhere to go for the holidays. They're known as the holdovers.
Mr. Hunnam.
Hello, Mary.
I heard you got stuck with babysitting duty this year. How'd you manage that?
You know, he used to be a student, right? Yeah, that's why he knows how to inflict maximum pain on us.
I thought all the Nazis were hiding in Argentina.
Stifle it, Tully.
Another Best Picture nominee then is Holdovers, of course. Number 2 on my list of best films of 2023. And Paul Giamatti turning in one hell of a brilliant performance. Very captivating, very funny, very emotionally distant to an extent, but using his wit.
Sir, I don't understand.
That's glaringly apparent.
I can't fail this class.
Oh, don't sell yourself short, Mr. Coates. I truly believe that you can.
The barrier that he puts in front of himself, between himself and other people, emotionally, it's really, really wonderful, because people just try and knock a hole through this wall and just peer in and shout at him and say, hey, come on, let's come on the other side of the wall. And he's like, nah, I like my side of the wall. I loved it.
Do you think I want to be babysitting you? No, I was praying your mother would pick up the phone, or your father would arrive in a helicopter or a flying saucer.
My father's dead.
I thought it was a really, really lovely setup. I don't dismiss. People have said to me it's predictable. It probably is, and of course, but you know, stories are what they are. They're made by characters, and the characters in this work really nicely, and I really, really, really vibed with it. I thought it was very funny, very touching. I've seen it twice, and I like it a lot. So, The Holdovers, as for the Best Picture nominee, is my personal pick. To if I was picking the Best Picture winners, I would pick Holdovers. Just so you know.
I'd like to propose a toast to my 2 unlikely companions.
Are you trying to lick down my shirt?
No. Yes. You're gonna get me fired. This is your Rubicon. Do not cross the Rubicon.
The Holdovers.
Ouch! Jesus! Mr. Hunnam!
Best costume design then. Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Poor Things. The rest of them are more historical. Obviously, Barbie's a bit different in that regard, but I think Barbie's more one of the... It works in the context of the aesthetic, but Poor Things, they've actually brought things to life with it. So I want to say Poor Things. Best directing on this list here. Anatomy Before, Killer of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Zone of Interest. So it's yeah, we know. So it's I'm going for Oppenheimer and Christopher Nolan, who is overdue an Oscar win, just so you know, because all of his films have been really, really, really well constructed. Yorgos Lanthimos arguably is the other contender here. But I absolutely don't dismiss any of the others at all. But I'm very strong that Christopher Nolan's winning this one. So there you are.
You know, you got nice color skin. What color would you say that is?
My color.
Killers of the Flower Moon, which is probably the most epic of the films here. It's the an American film, a Western, as well as that. One that the Oscars favour those films. Scorsese famously lost one of the biggest films of his career in The Goodfellas, one of the greatest films of all time. Famously lost the Oscar race to Dances with Wolves. A story of the American Indians and the American history there.
They have the worst land possible, but they outsmarted everybody. The land had oil on it. Black gold. Money flows freely here now.
I do love that money, sir.
My issue with the film is that it doesn't really know when to quit. it keeps going, even though it doesn't feel like it needs to be as long as it is. I said a very similar thing about Wolf of Wall Street, and I feel like he just likes to make really keep going with how far the plot can go, even if there's no more to be had. Like, he exhausts every possible stretch, every possible emotion, and as well as that, the reveal of what's going on completely happens quite early on. If we didn't know that till the end, I would have been really emotionally gut punched.
I was sent down from Washington, D.C. to see about these murders.
See, what about them?
See who's doing it.
So, Killers of the Flower Moon, whilst I do respect it, I love the performances, I love the aesthetic, I didn't mind the story at all. I just felt that it was an indulgence that was overlong and not needed. So I didn't love it, but I did like it. So there it is.
Expecting a miracle to make all this go away. You know they don't happen anymore.
So over to documentaries. Documentary feature film, Bobby Wine, The People's President, Eternal Memory, Four Daughters, To Kill a Tiger, and 20 Days in Mariupol. I'm going for 20 Days in Mariupol. Best documentary short film, ABC's Book of Banning, Board of Little Rock, Island Between, The Last Repair Shop, and Nine Eye Waipo. As much as I would love Nine Eye Waipo to win, because I love the story, I want The Last Repair Shop to win, so that's what I'm going for.
If summer doesn't sing in you, then nothing sings in you. And if nothing sings in you, then you can't make music. Something she told me.
Hello, I'm Lenny.
Hello, Felicia.
Bradley Cooper just has an affinity for music that I didn't realise he had. He's got a great face and aesthetic for black and white and that period in history. Which again, I never thought of him, which is interesting. But it does show his range. It does show his ability, and I don't dismiss that at all. The film itself, which is great, I really enjoyed Maestro. I loved the introduction, the sort of musical aspects of it, the fast-paced editing, the sort of one-take wonders of allowing the performance just as if they are on a stage performing for you. So it's a series of that throughout the film, which is how I saw it, and I had no problem with it at all. I think it fell a little bit apart at the end, just for a lack of real emotion from the central character himself. That's essentially what I mean. But you know, the side of what is going on with him in comparison to what's going on with his family, that's to be debated. But the film itself, very good, technically great. Bradley Cooper, great performance. Carey Mulligan, super performance. Great direction from Bradley Cooper. I just think, emotionally, not quite there.
I love people so much that it's hard for me to be alone. And music, it keeps me glued to life.
I don't even know how much you need me, do you? If summer doesn't sing in you, then nothing sings in you. And if nothing sings in you, then you can't make music.
Film editing. And that's moving forward. The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Holdovers is my pick, honestly. But if Oppenheimer wins, I'm not going to argue that at all. International feature film, Io Capitano, which I saw the other night and was really devastated by. Perfect Days, which is wonderful. My soul was cleansed after I saw that. Society of the Snow, which is harrowing, isn't it? My partner really struggled to watch it. Teacher's Lounge, which I thought was wonderful, and Zone of Interest. So the real I think competition here is between Zone of Interest and Society of the Snow. Society of the Snow was my pick for a long time. I loved the Teacher's Lounge. I really, really did. I thought it was absolutely wonderful, tense, and everything in between. So I'd love to pick that. I'd love it to win, actually. But I think I've got to go with Zone of Interest because of how big a fan I am of Jonathan Glazer more than anything. So I'm going to go and hope he pulls that one out of the bag. But Society of the Snow, I think, is the other one that could take it. Makeup and hairstyling, Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Society of the Snow. I'd never even heard of Golda until it was nominated for this Oscar. And I looked at it and I went, how have we not got this? How do we not know more about this one? So I'll check that out. But I personally think Society of the Snow, personally. On paper, I think it's probably Poor Things that deserves it. But also, you know, Maestro's credit in the aging process deserves some attention as well. So it's either Maestro, it's Poor Things, or it's Society of the Snow. Let's go for... Dear me. Let's go for Maestro. Outside chance, but... No, actually, no. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going Society of the Snow. Why not? Stick to me guns.
This is a national emergency.
Detonator charged.
It's one of those that you immediately sort of want to watch again. It is a long film, and performances are wonderful, and you know, it really gets you into the history. I personally think, and Cillian Murphy and many of the others actors in it will probably disagree with this, but I think his relationship with the lady he was having an affair with, whose name I forget now, I'm sorry, played by Florence Pugh, that just felt off to me. There was something about those scenes being in there that just didn't work. If she was in the circle and a part of the sort of like we knew what he was doing, and then her death hit him a different way, I would have been okay with that. But the sex scenes just seemed unnecessary to me. But you know, that's that. I think the score, which is wonderful, by the way, I think the score's wonderful, but I think it overpowered certain scenes, like the emotion of certain scenes, because it's in there trying to hide in the scenes, but I don't think it's needed. I think it really undersells the value of those emotional scenes. But that's just me. But that was my main issue with Oppenheimer. But in terms of technical achievement, tension and storytelling, wow.
This is a matter of life and death. But I can perform this miracle.
World War II would be over. Our boys would come home.
That's happening, isn't it?
The world will remember this day.
Our work here will ensure a peace mankind has never seen.
Until somebody builds a bigger one.
Original score: American Fiction, Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Oppenheimer, I did say it was wonderful, and I do mean it, but if it doesn't win, that's why it didn't win, in my opinion, what I just said about it being it overpowering the scene rather than enhancing the scene. But that's just me. But the score itself is brilliant. Original song: The Fire Inside, I'm Just Ken, Never Went Away, and What Was I Made For? And Wazawe. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. However it is you say that, I'm very sorry. What Was I Made For is what I'm going for there. The Fire Inside is absolutely wonderful, though. I really enjoyed that. And I'm looking forward to seeing... I'm Just Ken perform live tonight anyway, regardless. But yeah, there you go. Production design: Barbie, Kills of the Flower Moon, Napoleon Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Poor Things, I think aesthetically absolutely incredible. I'm sticking with that.
There's a word in Korean, 인연. It means providence or fate.
Do you believe in that?
That's just something Koreans say to seduce someone.
Past Lives is the other one. A beautifully soft and tender tale, isn't it? Told really beautifully, just through its characters, through nothing else. Essentially, you know, just the way it's just. I think it touched a lot of people for the way that they've kind of left relationships in the past, and it does that really, really nicely. So I've got no problem with Past Lives at all. Quite simply, if you want a nice, simple story that's a kind of a love triangle, kind of a love story, not love story, will they, won't they? I think you'll really like it. If you want something that's fun, ridiculous, and not an OTT in the context, stay away. It's not that. It's a soft and tender, lovely approach to film, and its Best Picture nomination is exactly right. It's exactly what it deserves. But I really liked it.
혜성! 와, 너다.
와, 진짜 와다.
와.
Not really sure how to feel about it, son. And the way you move makes me feel like I can't
좋다.
live without you.
뭐가?
그냥
Away. I
너랑 얘기하는 거?
Best Animated Short Film, Letter to a Pig, 95 Senses, Our Uniform, Pachyderm, and War Reserve, inspired by the music of John Yoko. I personally, I want to say Letter to a Pig, but you're welcome to disagree with me on that one. Live action short, The After, Invincible, Night of Fortune, Red, White and Blue, and The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, quite honestly. I really enjoyed The After, watched it the other day, but Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, I think it's really great.
This is Bella. Bella, this is Mr. McCandles.
Hello, Bella.
Poor Things then. So, who saw this one coming?
Oh.
It's one hell of a treat, isn't it? Visually incredible to look at. Yorgos Lanthimos, he keeps on delivering these weird and wonderful tales, and he keeps on just about getting it right.
Where did she come from?
I shall. For it is a happy tale.
I know certain people don't like it because it's sort of a bit crass. And I don't really disrespect that, but I also enjoyed it because it was that. I loved the violence and the swearing and the sex in it. You know, it's funny. You know, it's made to be funny, and I think it is. And Emma Stone is absolutely wonderful. Like I said, I just can't believe she's got to this point in her career she's taking these roles and this kind of thing, and I didn't see it from her years ago when she was coming to prominence, and now I feel like she can pull off anything, and it's quite an achievement, and I respect her for it. Now with The Favourite, one of the things that I said about The Favourite was I didn't agree with the things like, you know, the weird camera angles, the fisheye lenses. I just didn't think it added to the aesthetic very well. This one does all those weird lenses, all those weird angles. Every single one of them accumulates beautifully and meshes beautifully within the rest of them. Whereas in The Favourite, I thought it was a bit jarring. It works perfectly here, and he completely steps into the weirdness in every way possible that makes it and enhances it. So I really like Poor Things. I want to see it again, and I'm looking forward to their next collaboration, which is coming out later this year, I believe. So I'm looking forward to that. But Poor Things is great.
I am Bella Baxter, and there is a world to enjoy
circumnavigate. It is the goal of all to progress, grow.
A woman plotting her course to freedom. How delightful.
Best sound. The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, Oppenheimer, and The Zone of Interest. Now, in my opinion, there's two in this competition, Oppenheimer and Zone of Interest. I'm leaning towards The Zone of Interest for that background recording and how haunting it is. Oppenheimer, of course, if you've seen a Christopher Nolan film, you'll understand how much he knows he needs sound to work and to add to it. And he's right, and certainly no issues with it. But I think The Zone of Interest, personally, for its creative use thereof. Visual effects: The Creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, and Napoleon. The Creator or Godzilla -1, basically. I'm leaning towards The Creator because I think there was more to do, and I think they've made it flawless and done it well. Whereas Godzilla -1, they got what they needed to get right. Creator got everything right. So simple as that. There was more work to do on The Creator, and I think it deserves that bit of credit, therefore.
Hier ist der Kohlrabi. Die Kinder essen wahnsinnig viel Kohlrabi.
Die herrliche Zeit, die mir im gemütlichen, gastlichen Hause als Verliebten wird immer mit zu unseren schönsten Urlaubserinnerungen gehören.
It wasn't what I was expecting it to be. Certainly, you know, a tale of the Holocaust, and not put in a position of criticism, not put in a position of this is what it was like in Auschwitz or anything like that. What it was like to live next door. And they do it in a really harrowing and incredible way. You're stricken by it, the visuals of it, you know, the naturalistic feel of it, the fact that everything feels normal, but there's horror happening literally next door, and they're treating it like they really want to be there and they want to stay in, but it's affecting them physically. It's manifesting inside of his illness and all these things, and the fact that she wants to raise her kids there, even though like children are literally being killed next door. It's weird. It's wrong, you know, and it's powerful. Not an easy watch, quite honestly, but an important one, and I think credit is deserved and credit has been given by the fact that it's been nominated for Best Director, Best Picture and everything. But yeah, it's a good film. It's a good film, and it's well made. It's not one that I'll be revisiting, I don't think, in all honesty, but I'm very glad I saw it in the cinema where it's meant to be seen, and it was a difficult watch.
Herzlichen Dank für eure nationalsozialistische Gastfreundschaft. Heil Hitler.
Almost at the end, adapted screenplay, American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Zone of Interest. A tough one, I think, but I'm leaning towards American Fiction. Barbie, which obviously we've got some controversy here because they wanted it to be original screenplay, they said it's got to be an adapted screenplay. So many arguments to be made there, but it is up for adapted screenplay. At one point, Barbie was the favourite. I don't think it is anymore. I want to say that the script for Oppenheimer probably deserves more credit than it's been getting. But I am going to give it to American Fiction, which I think is a wonderful bonus that they will be willing to look at and go, yes. Original screenplay. It asked me before, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, and Past Lives. I really liked May December, by the way, just as a point of note. Really, really great performances, and the go-to place for a good monologue now, I think. Past Lives I've mentioned. I wouldn't be surprised if See This On wins that, you know. but time will tell on that one. Maestro, no. The Holdovers is a very big possibility, especially with it being an Alexander Payne film. Maybe not, but I want to say Anatomy of a Fall, because it's made a lot of waves this year, certainly Anatomy of a Fall. The script is very, very good. Translating it to screen is a very different beast than writing it, of course. So I think it'll get that credit. And Best Picture, we've just discussed them. American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, Holdovers, Kill the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and Zone of Interest. Well, I did say if I was picking the Best Picture winner, I would say The Holdovers. I am picking Oppenheimer as an accumulation of everything technical that it's achieved. Christopher Nolan's, one of his best films, and I think it will long be remembered for achieving some great things. So I'm going with Oppenheimer, but I personally want The Holdovers to win. There you go. Thanks very much, folks. Enjoy the Oscars. I'll be doing my reaction video a bit later on too. I hope that you go get yourself a ballot, go fill it in, challenge yourself, challenge your friends, challenge me. By all means, let us know how you got on, and enjoy the Oscars. It's on tonight. Bye, everybody. Oscar night.